So you're welcome. Yes, welcome. Yes, you're welcome to my healthy food place. You're welcome to this special edition of my 60th birthday. And the subject is asking me your questions. Those personal questions you want to ask about me or what I do. So you have the opportunity to ask those questions. Grace Enemali is my name. And today, September 30, 2024, is my birthday. That's the 60th birthday. And so, I welcome you all. And then I'm also ready to ask, to take or answer any personal question you want to ask about me or about what I do. Those personal questions, it's not about how can I treat this, or about, it's not about the regular things that we talk about, but you need to ask some personal questions about my person, about what I'm doing, about the assignment. That's exactly the matter, yes. Good afternoon, ma'am, Mrs. Kamesh Soni. You're welcome. You're welcome to the house. Mrs. Kamesh Soni, you're welcome. You're welcome. And so I welcome you all, and I want you to ask those questions. Yes, concerning what I do. Concerning what I do. Okay. Reverse the video. Okay. Okay, you are welcome. You are welcome. Diamonds. Shout out is good. You can have a shout out. You can. Yes, you are welcome. Yes, you're welcome. I may be taking some of the questions if they are really, really much. Pawan Singh, you're welcome. Hello, you are welcome. Hello, hello, I welcome you too. All of you that are present here to my live stream. Drop your comments, questions, your concerns, and then I'll be attending to them. Thank you for those comments. Yes, thank you for the comments. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Trace Thomas, you are all welcome. Yes, you are all welcome. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for those comments. You're from Pakistan. Yes, from Pakistan. You are welcome. From Pakistan. Yes, I'm here. I'm reading your comments. I'm reading. I'm watching. I'm also reading. From Pakistan, you're welcome. It's also good to mention where you are commenting from. Yes, it's important to mention where you are commenting from. Yes, from India, you're welcome. Yes, you're welcome to this live, special live. You can ask your question. Talking about, thank you for this comment. Talking about what staying healthy through natural foods. That's what I talk about. How you can regain your health in case you have lost your health. That's what I talk about. I've successfully also reversed my own using herbs and natural foods. But what we need is knowledge. Most of the things I talk about, thank you, my love, you're welcome. So most of the things I talk about are things I educate us, are things that we already have in our environment. We have these things in our environment, but nobody, because of absence of knowledge, we are just, wallowing in ignorance. But when we are educated, education, knowledge can set us free, because ignorance can bind you to the point that you have something around you at your backyard, within your compound, but you are not aware that it can help you. It's a medicinal plant. You can even take it out as a weed. I mean, you can take it out as a weed thinking it's not useful. So you can actually start to explore ways to recover or regain your health in case you have lost it. And then that is what God has successfully helped. I'm sure you cook good food. Yes. Yes, I do. Yes. Hello from Bronxley. Okay, that's nice. Sincere Essence from Bronxley, New York. You are welcome from New York. So please, it's good you are putting down the comment from where you are commenting from. And I welcome you to this special edition on my healthy food place. It's all about healthy food place. If you check, healthy food, if you check the channel, don't forget you must also subscribe. If you have not done so, you must go subscribe to my healthy food place. Yes, you must subscribe to my healthy food place so that you'll be educated. You'll be able to acquire knowledge on how to take back your health in case you have lost it. Jenny J, you're welcome. You are doing a great job, mommy. Are you on medication or supplement? How do you handle health challenges when it comes for you and family? Okay, that's very good from Jenny J. Yes, I'd like to take that question. Yes, I'm looking good, but not without something. I am not on any medication. Yes, I'm not on any, not only myself, my entire family. Yes, we are not on any medication. My spouse is 64 years. He's not on any medication. I am not on any medication. Then you ask whether we're on whether blood pressure, before people get to 60 years, it is common to see them taking drugs for blood pressure, for arthritis, I don't even take any supplement anymore. I was taking vitamins, occasionally I've dropped vitamin C out of it. I go for natural foods. So hello from Greece. You're welcome from Greece. Now, from talking of supplement, I don't also take supplements. Supplement, when several years ago, I believed that you may not be able to have a healthy body like this, a strong, healthy body, without having a supplement that you are taking. But today, I know that it is possible because it's something I'm practicing, using food as my own medicine. And when I talk about making food, using food as medicine, you must use healthy foods, natural foods, foods with life, not just any food. Some people are still of the view that you must take supplements before, not as if to say supplementing is not something that you can do. But what I'm saying, it is also possible to live your life just by consuming only natural food. So those of you who think you cannot, live without drugs, without medication, I am not on any medication. The past, as far back as 15 years, or maybe 14 years to be precise, because several years ago, I was always on drugs, going to check for laboratory investigation, where they will say typhoid is there, and of course, they always see typhoid. But today, since 14 years ago, I've not been on any of those antibiotics anymore, because I have come to understand that the real cause of disease actually is imbalance. And so if you can keep your body at the proper balance, acid and alkaline balance properly, and you do not stress too much, and you also include antibacterial foods like garlic, ginger, inflammation fighting foods, and you do not I mean consume too much of processed foods. It is what is causing most of the acids in our body. A lot of people cannot do without consuming too much of the processed foods with chemical additives and preservatives. And so these things, when they get into our body, the body will need to work on them again. And the liver and the kidney is what actually suffers. Yes, they are the one these organs are the ones doing most of the jobs. And so if you are getting to 60 years like myself and you want to stay healthy, you need to reduce processed foods in your diet so that your liver will have less work to do, so that your kidney will have less work to do. That's exactly what we're saying. Because the more processed foods you take, particularly those multivitamins and supplements, like you said, it's a blessing and more strength. Thank you for that comment. Okay, so when you are taking those supplements, particularly the iron, those with iron, synthetic iron tonic, iron something, it's going to cause inflammation. Those of you that are already going through things like arthritis, you're going to experience more pains. And of course, you can have natural foods that contains iron. I just shared one yesterday. The soursop leaf is a source of it. The guava leaf is a source of iron. You can make them occasionally as tea. Soya beans is a source of iron. Moringa leaves is a source of iron. We have several foods. When you think you need iron, there are several of them, apart from the animal proteins, which are actually a source of the good iron that the body can easily access. Though some of us are already running away because of cholesterol and the clogging of arteries. But you can have most of moringa and soursop. Love from London. Yes, you're welcome. Blessings and more. Thank you from London. Moringa and soursop. Yes, you can have them. If you think you need iron, there are foods you can take. You can boil as tea. I drink in hot water every morning. Yes, that's good. That's good. But remember, you don't have to take too much. If you are getting to 60 like myself. Why? Because if you take too much iron, the bacteria are going to soon start rejoicing. Your blood will soon start getting thicker. Yes. When the blood is too thick, it's not good for older adults. Yes, we need blood thinners in our diet, like garlic, ginger, turmeric. But a lot of people are not including these blood thinners. And that's why when people suffer blood pressure, they go to the hospital, they are placed on blood thinning medications. And most of these medications don't come without one form of side effect or the other. But if you can, take advantage of natural foods with blood thinning, natural blood thinning properties in them, you won't have too much thickness in your blood. When the blood is too thick, it can lead to stroke. And that's why a lot of people have things like problems along the joints. Before they are 60 years, there are so many diseases, inflammations. Some of the inflammations we can't see. Most time when you start feeling pains, for instance, I do. Some of you may be asking, you say, I drink in hot water. Okay, some of you may be asking, how do I manage? Like in that question now, how do I manage? I do have occasional challenges, health challenges from time to time, but I do manage them. Yes, and each one that I triumph over or I overcome, I normally like to update my followers and those who are my subscribers. I like to update them. Yes, there are occasions when something happens to me. Like sometimes, some few months ago, I had a pain here under my breast. It was really paining and biting. And what did I use? I noticed it's not something I just started taking. I've been taking garlic for some time. I just took oregano oil, mixed it with coconut oil in a small separate container. And what did I do? After bathing each night, I take the oregano oil and the coconut oil, which I mix together in a separate, and just go under it and massage it very well. Massage it very well. And allow warmth, heat to get there every night. I did it a few nights, like 5 days or 4 days. The thing was gone. There are several others like that. Sometimes, most of the things we go for medication, we don't, once you see the sign early, because most time when you see some of the minor symptoms, we neglect it. And that's what I've stopped doing over the years. It's one of my secrets anyway. And that's why I say you should come here and ask the questions. Just last week, for instance, my husband was having something that was also itching on the skin, seriously. He tried many things and it wasn't, that's a 64-year-old man. He tried a lot of things and I was just watching as he was testing out everything. And after some time I said, okay, let me test this, my small tincture on you too, because I've used it some few months, it worked for me. Let me use this oregano oil and coconut oil. And I'm glad to say that he applied it for just 3 days. On the skin, the thing was really biting, and on the skin, biting as if something was there, and I know something was there. Biting and causing a kind of itching around the region and spreading. And I tell you, it's gone. It's not something, these are just minor, recent ones. I say, okay, let's use this oregano, because oregano oil is quite hot. And diseases don't like hot environment. It has antibacterial properties. The oregano oil is very, very powerful, I tell you. If you suspect anything like all those inflammations around, every disease starts with inflammation. And once I see any form of inflammation, I attack it immediately. Don't give it any chance. It's because one of the things we do, most of us, is we leave the thing and we relax and allow it to continue to incubate. And after the incubation, the bacteria begins to get reinforcement from within us. And after they are fully reinforced, it becomes a little bit more difficult to dislodge them. That's exactly what we're saying. And that's why the scientists always say that early detection, I strongly believe that too. Because when the body talks to me, I don't take care. Thank you, Ma, for answering. Is there any health challenges you have reversed over the years? Because you are looking very, very good, Mama. Okay, thank you. I love that question. Yes, you are asking if I have reversed any health challenges. Yes, I have done a lot. Reversed blood sugar for several, reversed high blood pressure. Like some time ago, his blood pressure was like 195/90. That's big, almost showing signs of a stroke. What did we do? Soursop leaves were boiled. And now, it's not only the soursop leaves that you need to reduce your blood pressure, because a lot of people focus on one herb. Our body is very complex. You don't need to focus. When you are doing that, you have to be cautious and then feed your body with important nutrients like calcium, magnesium, and make sure you do not take too much carbohydrates. When I talk about some diseases love warm and hot. Oh my God. Okay, I love that comment so that I can tackle it very, very well. I want to go back to it. So which of the diseases can you mention the ones that love warmth? That's not true. If you can keep your body, I'll give you one. If you can give your body, keep your body always warm, it will be difficult. It's one of my secrets. I'm 60 years today, and I'm sharing some of these secrets. And that's why I asked you to come here live, because I want to share. I will not tell you anything that I don't do. One of the things I learned lately, and I wish I knew earlier, was the fact that if you keep your body very warm, it is difficult. And I repeat, it is difficult for disease, bacteria. It is coldness. When that portion is cold, even cancers Cancers cannot spread when the place is hot. And that's why foods like ginger, look at the herbs, foods like turmeric, they are very hot. Look, foods like black pepper, they are very hot. These are foods that don't give cancer a chance. Even the vitamin C, which is one of the most powerful antioxidants and popular ones, you think it's not a hot one? If you have not listened to if you don't know how to listen to your body, maybe I give you a little tip from the iceberg. So when you take any food and you feel that coldness, it means the oxygen is not going into your body. That food is either using acid to block your body. And once your body don't get oxygen, that is exactly the beginning of the problem in the body. Thank you. Happy birthday, Mom. Love to you. Thank you. Love it. Inspire. Thank you. So when you want to know the secret in reversing a lot of diseases, one of the secrets is keep ensuring that you don't keep your body warm. Cold is a virus. If you stay in a cold place, whether it is air conditioned or outside or even the natural air we are, as long as that place is cold, very soon your blood circulation will be reduced. And when the blood circulation is reduced, you start to sneeze. Very, very soon, the virus starts moving. That thing that you see like it starts moving and traveling all over your body. And before you know it, it goes to trying to get to the lungs. But the problem a lot of us are having is when these things are happening, we are even ignorant. Yes, yeah, we are even ignorant. Some will still be, like you are telling me that some diseases thrive in acidic. You're asking that question. Are you a medical practitioner, madam, 70 years old, and I'm a pharmacist for 37 years? Oh my God, I'm so happy that I have you in the house. You know why? What I am doing is likely not what you are doing. What's up from Germany? No, what you are doing is good. We need the medical scientist. That's the medical scientist. But I am not a medical scientist. And I'm happy that some of you are beginning to come back home and to agree with us that the herbs we talk about, the lifestyle changes we talk about, they contribute. I've been like this for 14 years without any antibiotics, without any form of blood multivitamin or whatever. And these are things that had troubled me, that brought me into this work I'm doing. A lot of people are wondering, how do I come about it? Why? I have been treating typhoid and malaria off and on until I was like, gave up. I said, I'm tired, I want to die. I'm not better than those that died. Because the drugs were no longer, I was testing all antibiotics. Anyone that comes out, I test it. Not too long, the thing turned to ulcer. Because when you are taking these antibiotics, they are killing the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. After killing the bad bacteria, your body comes back to give you trouble. But many of you are not aware of it. Yes, many of you are not aware of it. After fighting the bacteria, it destroys the bad bacteria, it destroys the good one. Several years ago, things like typhoid was not so much heard of. It is because of our lifestyle, too much processed foods, imbalance, too much acid in our food, in our body, I mean. And so when there are too many toxic overload, too much toxins in our body, even the air we breathe, the foods we eat, the fishes we are consuming, some of the foods are GMOs, genetically modified. And so these things contribute to the health challenges we're having. And so when you are talking about why is the US health system such a mess, well, I'm not in US. So it's even people without a job, Oh, sugar is worse. So we have too much of these things in our diet. I don't want to talk about sugar because we have talking too much. We have talked, we have castigated sugar too much, and it looks like if sugar is a devil, sugar is not a devil. When you need sugar, my message is when you need sugar, you go for real sugar. Yes, sugar, there are sugar from fruits. There are other types of sugar. We need sugar at one time or the other, but don't go for the so-called sugar-free or aspartame. There are other other foods that is set to take the place of sugar. And so you see carbonated drinks labeled as sugar-free, aspartame, and whatever. No, if you need something, you go for it. That's the life I live. If you want to take milk, you go for milk. A lot of people say milk is bad. I had a little of it this morning before I came here. So anytime I feel I need it, I go for it, but not in the same amount that I used to take it as a growing child, because the body is no longer growing. What the body needs more nice, detox food that can help you detox, blood thinners in the diet, food that can thin out the blood. So when you get to a certain age, you need to make dietary changes. Even dietary changes and what do you use for treatment? Do you use herbs? Now, thank you for that follow-up question, Sam, as a pharmacist. Now, I gave you one that even my husband is 64 years. A few days, this one, it just happened last week. I don't want to go far because the testimonies are too much about blood pressure, blood sugar being reversed. A lot of, near hopeless situations being just reversed by just opening the eyes of the person and using food as medicine. And so what I'm saying is that what do I use for treatment? For instance, now, if I suspect, I also try to tell people, learn to listen to your body. If I suspect that my body is acidic now, I stop acidic food and start alkaline food, like garlic, ginger. If I suspect a tickle in my throat, I take cold pressed coconut oil before I go to bed. It has antiviral properties. I take a little of it, so it doesn't. Before I wake up, you don't develop a full-blown tonsil or some other bacteria, because there are millions of bacteria. The pharmacists know what I'm talking inside this our body, and that's why one of the secrets I tell people is that don't just brush your teeth for confidence. Take care of your oral health as you get older very properly, because a lot of the bacteria live there. And what I do is to prevent disease. But when they try to come, immediately I see the symptom, because the body will always give you a signal. Yes, our body always gives us a sign that there is no disease that just jumped from the sky. We incubated the disease through what we are eating, either through our lifestyle, we're not exercising, or we are eating late food, or you allow yourself to be too obese. You don't check your weight, and the weight becomes too much, placing too much load on the heart. So these are some of the lifestyle. So for me, for instance, I was weighing 115, 120 when I was battling with diseases. So about 17, 16 years ago, before I began to do this. So how did I reverse it? By the time I began to work on the weight, the diseases began to disappear. And that's when people come with some disease, some challenges, telling me they have this. I said, what is your weight? I ask questions a lot. When people come to me for chats, for private chats, I don't just start recommending, boil this to the herb. And that's why I don't encourage people to just go to because you saw something online and they mix this, they mix that, you just take it and drink. No, I have to ask your age. Ask for your medication. Ask questions a lot, because these things play a role. How long have you been with that problem? When did you get the first warning signal of that thing that is troubling you? Yes. If you tell me the first signal, I will also ask you, what have you been eating lately? Because when you say what you've been eating, if I consider there are too much acidic food in your diet, we're going to work on that. Because toxicity, excess toxins in the body is one of the sponsors of diseases. And if you don't want disease, you mustn't feed them. Every disease needs to be fed. And so when any problem is coming, for instance, I've not had body temperature since 2010. I mean, say my body is running temperature. If I see somebody that your body is running temperature, I'm annoyed. I'm not a medical doctor, but somehow I already, presume that this is what's going on. The cells are starved of oxygen. And so what should you do to allow oxygen to begin to move into the cells? Because the cells will be dying gradually. But the ignorance in it is that a lot of time, instead of bringing in food to unblock the arteries and open up the pathways for oxygen to go in, most people, they want to eat rice. That's that. They eat. They add stew. They will even add stew, add oil, the oil will transfer. They will eat it. So they go back and block the place. So there will be no oxygen. The person is shivering. And in the years of ignorance, when people were suffering convulsion, children, Femi, background girl is you. So when people are suffering things like convulsion and it was mistaken for evil spirits, what was the cause? Ignorance. It's sheer ignorance. When a child is running temperature in those days, they get, and the child is shivering, instead of to expose the body, let oxygen come, bathe the child if possible. They get blanket and cover the child. So even the little oxygen is covered. Before you know, the child begins to convulse. Ignorance. That's what ignorance did to us. But today, the cases of such is reducing because of knowledge. So when you bring someone, or whether it's a child or yourself, you suspect you are running temperature. I'm still attending to your question. My pharmacist, Onyekwere also. If I suspect that my body is heavy, a temperature is about to come, I stop the food. That's what I do. I stop the food, especially the starches, and start taking in herbs. And sometimes I stay with water. The secret is knowing what my body is asking for me. Knowing what your body is requesting from you. That's the secret. That's the secret that has kept me all these years. I never taste antibiotics. It's not even my own husband. He doesn't have, at 64, no prostate. When the blood pressure came, was successfully brought down from 195/90. And that it was something that caused it. And that's why I ask people to also watch their emotions. Your emotions affect your health. If you're in a place where you're not happy, it's possible you will always be sick. And that's why the Holy Book enjoins us always to be happy. There is a reason for it. You don't have to be sad because your expectations are not met. You don't have to be sad because you are not as educated or you don't have what Mr. B is having. Because if you are not happy, it's going to affect your health over time. That's exactly part of the secret. So you got to be happy. It doesn't matter whether you are rich. As long as you have life, you're breathing, you have to be hopeful that it's going to get better. Because when people come to me at times for counseling, for guidance on health, I ask, how is your marriage? How is your home? Is your husband doing well? Are your children fine? What of your job? What kind of job do you do? I ask all these questions. And I say, please don't be annoyed that I'm going too personal, because all these things affects our health in more ways than we think. If you are doing a job that places too much stress on you, and maybe you have a boss that is always disturbing you and is not appreciating the much you're doing, you won't be happy. And over time, if you continue to be sad and remain there, you're going to be sick. That's the truth. And so I try as much as possible to keep myself happy. Contentment, godliness with contentment is great gain. You need to be happy at all times. Be contented. It's a sign of spiritual maturity. You don't have to be sad because you're sick. Because that the particular thing that you think is making you sad, somebody is asking for it, to have what you have. Okay, so what kind of food you have to feed your mind with good things. That's a comment from someone. I would like you that to also mention where you are commenting from. Whether it's from Pakistan or India, anywhere. Just when you're commenting, mention the place so that I know where your comment is coming from. And so when you are, feeding your mind with good information is also good. What you feed your mind with. Social media now, you open, you watch anything, but it's what you are interested in that they will bring to you again. And so you need to also mind what you read, what you feed your mind with. From the heart. Okay, from the heart. Okay, you need to watch what you feed your mind with. You have to feed your mind with things that are positive. The Holy Book says, whatsoever things that are good, whatever things that are pure, whatsoever type of good report, he said, think on these things. Why? Because it has effect on your health. It has a way, there is a way it affects your health. That's what is helping me. I try to put all these things into practice. I don't use medications. I'm not saying it's bad to use medication. Please, don't take me too far. When you are sick, please, and you know that you have lost the balance, your body can no longer do all, you need to seek medical attention. I will still do that if I have a need for it, please. But the point is, after that, you go back and ensure that you don't live your life on the medication. Yes, you don't live your life on it. Sometimes our immune system could go down. I have had occasions, for instance, when I ate certain food, because most of the things we actually call disease, like I said earlier, it's an imbalance. Either you have eaten certain things too much, or there is a particular one that is in short supply, or you have too much acids in your body. If you can give your body a chance and eat foods like cucumbers, alkaline foods like cabbage, and use it to restore your balance, your internal balance, you'll be fine. Acidic foods like peanuts, fried peanuts, is highly acidic. But that is not to say that all the acidic foods are bad. It's a healthy food. It's a source of protein. But when you consume it too much, it becomes acidic. And most foods behave like that. When you take them in excess, they become inflammatory, begin to cause inflammations. And that's why one of when we talk of the popular quotes or maxim in our group, is food is our medicine, but moderation is our rule. Must be more practice moderation. Water therapy in the morning. A lot of people are moving about poorly hydrated. You need to ensure that you start your morning with water therapy. It's one of my secrets. And then you take antibacterial foods, food that help the body to fight bacteria, especially for older adults. When you are in your 60s, you do not have to be depending on antibiotics all the time. There are natural antibiotics in foods, spices, seeds, and fruits that can perfectly ward off, reverse that disease. When you think that bacteria is too much, maybe because of something or the other, start your morning with foods like garlic. It's a source of sulfur. There are other sulfur-containing foods. Fresh pineapple is a source of sugar, but it has those things that can help to fight disease. lemon juice in your warm water, you are taking all these things in the morning, you will notice that you start your morning with alkaline foods. That's what I do. Some people, you wake up, you prepare tea and bread. I mean, two acidic foods together. Two inflammation-causing foods together. You just combine them. We did all this, but we did them because of ignorance. When you wake up as an older adult, you start your morning with alkaline foods. Food that will help your body. Food that your body can use. Brain foods. There are foods that are brain foods. There are foods that are not brain foods. And so these are some of the secrets. Using food as medicine, including inflammation-fighting foods, staying off all the it's not really possible to stay off all the processed foods, but you can reduce them to the barest minimum. Yes, because you can't just get all your foods. You can process some, but you need to ensure that you take more of the natural foods. If you have access to farm, get fruits from the farm, your fruits, that is better for you. Is it okay to eat fufu? No, it's not okay to eat fufu every day, my dear. But fufu is good if it's fermented. Anytime you want to take it, ensure there's protein in the food, ensure there is vegetables. And when we talk of vegetables, we have low-calorie vegetables, foods, ones that you can take more frequently. And so what we need is knowledge. I mean, knowledge of what we are eating. The knowledge of what our body is asking for. If you wake up and your body needs protein and you are taking starch all the time, over time, your insulin, your body will start building up insulin resistance. And before you know it, you say diabetes. And before you know it, you're going for medication. Yes, when you start consuming starchy foods consistently, you start to experience insulin resistance. And even when I do, for instance, I go for food that will help to reduce the insulin resistance. Foods like cinnamon, foods like guava leaf tea. And lately I have found out that even the soursop tea, which helps to reverse or shrink things like fibroids, is a powerful inflammation-fighting tea that is naturally caffeine-free. I'm talking of soursop. It lowers blood pressure very perfectly. Now, before now, I was only focusing on guava leaf tea because I know I have a family history of diabetes. I know I have a family history of diabetes. So I said, okay, at 60, before you get to 60, you should have been working on your blood sugar. You don't have to wait until you are confirmed diabetic. And so it is something I've been doing, using guava leaf and some other foods that lowers sugar naturally. Sometimes when I consume food that is sugary, not that we're going to run away, I look for a counter food that will help to reduce the resistance, that will balance it. There's no single herb, and I repeat, just even like in the case of the high blood pressure, reversing it with soursop. You can reduce it and crush it with the soursop leaf tea. But it's not enough. You need calcium, you need magnesium for your heart. You need protein. Protein is the building block. You need a lot of other nutrients. Our body is more complex than you are thinking. And so you need all of this to be at a balance, a proper balance. If the sodium in your body is too much through processed food consumption, your blood pressure may not be able to be controlled. No, some people have come to me saying they have been taking medication and the medication doesn't seem to be working. Why? Because they have believed that only medication will do the job. No, my dear. You can take medication or even herbal whatever, supplement or whatever to help you to reduce your blood pressure. But that is not the final say. You need other properties in food to help your body to get to its balance. If it is sodium that is too much in your body and you don't have potassium, you need to start consuming potassium-rich foods like bananas, potassium-rich foods like sweet potatoes. There are several other potassium. Even the soursop leaves is a source of potassium without calorie, in case you are running away from calorie. So you need to know what your body is looking for. I said I was weighing 120, 115. You know, that's a home for diseases. And so if you are overweight, for instance, you need to work on your weight. What your body wants from you is to lose weight. But the point is, most of the time, we don't do what the body is asking. The body is under pressure. Because when you are overweight, inflammation is, being overweight is already a sponsor of inflammation. Anybody that is overweight will always be having inflammations. And that's why I tell people, fight the fat before the fat begins to fight you. Because if you see that, whether it's childhood obesity, I see a lot of children highly obese. That is not healthy body. Because they take too much of processed food. I call it bloating. Some people are proud of it, they're happy to show off that their child is looking so bloated. It's not. That doesn't mean that the child is hale and hearty. They are consuming too much of processed food, they are bloated. The muscles are not as strong as they look because of the type of food they are taking. So you need to know exactly what your body is asking from you. If you are overweight, you need to lose weight. By the time you lose weight, most of the diseases will be gone. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you don't lose weight, for instance, you still consume the same foods that you are consuming, inflammation-causing food, your beans, your rice, your bread, your biscuits, all the stuff you enjoy, your breakfast cereals, and you are gaining weight, and you are looking for medication, maybe you are not ready yet. You are not ready yet. Because it's when you lose weight, you may not have any need of medication again. Many things people call ulcers today. I have had stomach ulcer. I mean, the severe kind of it several years ago, and it's no more. I heard people say they have stomach ulcer, this and that. When you say try, they say no. What they are actually calling stomach ulcer, a lot of them are acidic buildups. Yes. Some people don't take fermented foods. It's out of their diet. And I said, you must get back. Yes, start fermenting your foods to feed the healthy gut bacteria. You are trying to, these are some of the things I have come to realize, and I want you to be here in this life so that I can share them with you. It's some of my secrets. Sometimes some constipation won't go away unless you bring in fermented foods. You bring in some form of reinforcement. You reinforce the healthy bacteria, the healthy bacteria with probiotics from the food. But when you don't bring in probiotics, live bacteria, through fermented foods, you remember that in the olden days, there were nothing like refrigerators. It was fermentation they were using to preserve their foods. But today, most of us have abandoned it. And that's why I say we must get back. Because these bacteria existed long before us. But what we are doing wrongly now, that affecting our health, why many people are sick, is we are trying to use antibiotics to eliminate all the bacteria. And where do you want them to go? No, I want to know, where do you want them to go? When would they have millions of them inside our stomach, living there? Some are living in the mouth. And you want to eliminate all of them. You want to eliminate all of them. You want to get out all of the bacteria so that only you. That's why people that are talking of drug-resistant bacteria. They're resisting it because that's their habitat, that's the environment, that's where they were created to be. And we are using antibiotics trying to push them out. But the original thing that our ancestors did was to bring in the heavy, the probiotics so that everybody is happy. They eat and you eat. That is, the good bacteria are fed and the other ones are dead. So everybody is happy. Calling it something like a symbiotic relationship. You survive, I survive. Don't try to push me out. That's exactly what we are doing today. We're trying to destroy the bacteria altogether, outrightly. It's a battle we may never win. I've often said it. They are there. In those days, when they tell me, when I go for test, lab tests, and they say they've seen typhoid, my heart starts to, I start like, my heart is panting. I'm so worried. So, that's it. If you have more questions, you can drop it because I'm about to call it a day for now. That's a special one. Thank you all for coming to this, my special edition. Sharing some of the secrets. No medication, no antibiotics, not too much drugs, not even a multivitamin. The same with me and my household. But that is not to say that if we have any need, something like an accident or any such, there will be need to go to hospital. If I have a symptom or you have a symptom that develops and you try managing with natural foods and it's not responding, my dear, go for laboratory investigation. And after the investigation, if you are in pains, if you are giving treatment and drugs, take it. But while taking it, eat properly. Let your body use that opportunity to build your body again, so that it won't be long, you will drop the drugs and your body can rebuild. Because your body can heal itself. That's the summary of it. Your body can heal. If you provide the necessary materials for healing, it's going to heal. That's what I've been doing. I can't tell you the life I don't live. I do have occasional health challenges once in a while, but trying to balance it, not allowing the body to be too acidic here and there, avoiding inflammation causing foods, not allowing things like gluten, too much gluten. Once in a while, I go for wheat. People say wheat is a source of gluten, but when I feel like I need it, because it's a source of magnesium too. The gluten in it is naturally occurring. But whenever I feel I need it, I go and take it. Once, not to make it repeatedly like that. And so, that is about it. If you have any question again, you can drop it. I will be able to attend to you. That you don't have to live your life, especially when you are 60. You don't have to spend all your life, on all kinds of medications. It is possible. I'm a living testimony that it is possible for you to live a healthy life devoid of too much drugs and medications. Living your life, be happy, contributes to your health. Don't overdo anything. Don't eat late meals. All these things, you already will find it on my channel. And you must subscribe if you have not done so. Yes, you have to go to my channel and go subscribe to that, because what I share is my life, my wellness story. How were you able to do it? Looking good, mother of healthy foods. Yes, Ricky, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, that is my 60th birthday. Yes. Otherwise, we'll have been seeing wrinkles all over the place. There's no how you can leave that wrinkles will come. But if we're eating, healthy foods, they'll be reduced. Yes, they'll be reduced. If you put, like myself, for instance, let me also share this aspect of my life. Maybe some of you didn't ask it. I don't buy soap. I make my own bathing soap. Yes. As far back as 14 years ago, I make my own bathing soap for me and my family. Why? Because your skin is the largest external organ, my skin. Diseases can enter from there. Then I don't also buy pomade. Lotions. I don't. I mix my coconut oil, my essential oils. That's what I use for my skin. So you don't have to be worried about eczema and skin problems. No. If you are taking care of your skin using these oils, the rate at which wrinkle come will be less. It's coconut oil I use with mixture of some essential oils. I've done a video on it. Some essential oils, depends on time I use. Lately, I've started adding turmeric oil because I found that turmeric oil is also good for digestion. So if I eat certain time and I feel that the food is feeling heavy, I use the turmeric oil and put on my belly button. At times in the night when the digestion is sluggish, maybe due to cold weather, I take any oil of my choice, depending, and put it on my belly button. There was a time I had this foot issue. It's almost 2 years now. I need to say it. I think it's athletics foot also. What was the cause? Wearing one tight shoes. And sometimes water. Allowing water around your toes when you are getting to certain age, like 50 something, is not good. Wearing very tight shoes. So it began to itch, but it's gone. And I'm happy to report that it's gone. It almost required going to hospital. It was, if you ask me, it's one of the most resistant problem or health challenge I've had several years. If you ask me, that food something. And that's why I often do a video and tell people, take care of your food. When you are getting older, take care of your food, take care of your oral health. I have to use, you say, what helps the stomach? Helps the stomach like how? Are you talking of digestive aid or gas? If you are talking of food that can reduce gas, fennel seed is there. Ginger is there. Even the turmeric is there. If you're always having stomach gas or you're having that indigestion, there are foods that can aid digestion. Cloves is there. There are several of them that you can take if you are experiencing indigestion. So when you are talking of stomach problems, you need to be specific because life is in the gut. And you don't any problem emanating from the stomach, you need to know the side of the stomach where it's common, whether it's under the right breastbone or whether, because most of these organs are in the stomach. So most of these organs are in the stomach, within the region. So you need to know which area, which part of the stomach you are having a problem, so that you'll be able to, know what exactly and where it is coming from. You don't have to, my dear, you don't have to. You have to know where it is. If it's paining you under the right breastbone, that's where the liver is. If it's paining you in the middle, around that place, of course, I think the heart is also around that region. So you need to know where exactly the stomach and the side where you're having the problem. That is it. So I'm glad to have all of you, and I'm happy too that I'm still here and hearty at 60. And that is what I wish you. You will not live your life on medication when you are 60, before you get to 60. And if you're already more than 60 years, and your medication, you can also, it's reversible. I was on much, all these drugs running up and down, stomach ulcer today, these antibiotics tomorrow, but I'm off all of that. Ulcers are gone. And antibiotics, typhoid, malaria, up and down, they've all gone. And what made it happen? Knowledge. Knowledge. And that's what you need. Knowledge of the restoring properties in the foods already available in your environment. We need it. And so, thank you for coming. Appreciate all of you. So you are talking about the stomach, and I've said when you are having anything around your stomach, find out, is it constipation or whatever? Find out what exactly that you're talking about, so that you know what to suspect. That's exactly what we are saying. And so, make your own skin care, like I do, your own soap, your bone bathing soap, using only natural ingredients, like I use Ghana soap, I use some essential oils, I use lemon peels to make my soap ever since. And then I make my own lotion for the body. I don't use powder. I'm trying to share some of my personal life secrets. I don't use powder on my face. Yes, because most of them contain some ingredients that are not good for us. Talcum powder. I don't use it. Once I finish my bath, that's all. The body has its own natural oil that helps to, keep it. But by the time we are using some of these things, some of them contain irritants. Yes. Some of you cannot do without powder on your skin. Not that I don't. Yes. I want you to comment if you are here. So, some of you. Okay. So some of you, are using some of the ingredients that will cause skin problems. Yes. When you put anything on your skin, that thing you put on your skin starts going to your bloodstream. It starts going to your bloodstream. And so that is why, right from the beginning, I began to make my own skincare products. So I know what I'm putting on my skin. Because when you are putting anything, it's gradually going into your bloodstream. And the earlier you know this, the better for you. So don't just say, I put it on my skin, no, I didn't eat it. You don't have to eat anything before it finds its way into your bloodstream. As long as it is touching your skin, that's why it's the part of the body we should pay extra attention, especially as we are getting older. You pay extra attention to that part of your body because of the fact that it has direct connection with your blood. And so if you are putting acidic things on your body in form of body cream, body lotion, it's going to be delivering some of it to your blood. If you are putting things that are, that can make you sick, a lot of the products in the market are like that. You're putting it on your skin or on your hair, it's going into your bloodstream. That's the truth. And so you need to know this. And the earlier you know this, the better for you. You don't have to take anything and put on your skin as a cream or as a soap. Doesn't matter how beautifully packaged it may look. The best is to make your own. But if you can't, read the labels properly. I read labels a lot. Read the labels and know the ingredients in it before you start using it. So that is it. That's part of my secret. I don't use powder. I don't use all those products. I make most of them for myself and then for my family. And most people who are close to me, anybody who is even very close to me, if you have any need or pressure that you want to attend to medical or you want to go to hospital, you start saying, I will first of all find out what caused the disease. You must find out the cause of a disease first. A woman visited me some time ago, like a few months ago, and said that she needs paracetamol. I should give her. Well, some of you may not understand the name. It's a household name here where we are. It's an analgesic. So I said, why do you need it? I said, I don't have it. It was hard for her to believe. I don't have it, or I don't want to give her. I said, I don't have. So what do you use then? I said, I don't have any need for it. I use food as medicine. Where we have natural analgesics. You can use ginger. Even cloves can reverse pains. If you suspect pains, for instance, it may be caused by acid. You can choose. I choose some cloves sometimes. It reduces the acidic buildup. If you have taken too much caffeine, for instance, it can cause anxiety attack. It can start to dry you up, placing extra demand for water on you. And when you don't bring the extra water, you say you're sick. Yes, you say you're sick. Too much caffeine from leafy teas. Sometimes we do a lot of things. There are a lot of foods that we also take. And many of us are hard to drop it. The way we prepare our food, I don't fry anything. Since 14 years ago, I stopped frying. Some of you will say you can't do without frying. I don't fry my foods, don't fry my stews. But they see taste nice. I don't use bouillon cubes, artificial taste enhancers. I use natural ingredients, onions, garlic, ginger, cinnamon, sea salt. These are things I use. Cayenne pepper to help to improve blood circulation. You can make a meal, you can cook a food, and the food will be highly acidic. But you can also make a food that is alkaline. So many of us are consuming acidic foods, prepared with highly acidic oils. We prepare acidic foods, use refined table salt, acidic salts, use bouillon cubes, and many others to make the food even more acidic. And so if you are sick and you say you are sick and you are consuming acidic food, how can it work for you as medicine? The body heals us with the food we are bringing in. That's all. And that's why I often emphasize on protein. Protein is very scarce. You must ensure that you get sufficient protein. A lot of people they just eat anything. Yes. When you consume, yes, from Mexico, you are welcome. So when you consume certain food, for instance, that you have prepared and the food is inflammatory and you're already going through inflammation, it cannot work as medicine. Things like pains, every disease needs food to survive. Cancer needs food to survive. So when you are bringing in food that is feeding the disease, it's most likely that you are starving the healthy cells. From Nigeria, please. Lagos, this is Nigeria. That's where I'm speaking from. And so you're welcome. All of you that are just joining me, you're welcome. So I'm saying that when the food that you have prepared is acidic, it's going to cause more acid. When the food has more inflammatory properties, it's going to cause more inflammation. So you need to know what you are cooking, what you are preparing. When you fry the food, it becomes more acidic. And that is why they clog arteries. A lot of people complain of fatty liver. You can reverse a fatty liver by stopping the habits, such as poor cooking habits, such as frying your food. Fry your chicken, you fry this, you eat your biscuit, your bread, and all of that. And they go clog your arteries. And the liver is crying for help. Thank you, my dear Ngozi Amadio. The liver is crying for help. And you are there bringing in more processed foods. Yes, you are bringing in more processed foods. And so, if your liver is sick, you are sick. If your kidney is sick, you are sick. Most of these organs, if your heart is sick, you are sick. There are foods that support a healthy heart. You need to focus on them. There are foods that helps your liver to heal. You need to focus on them. Ensure you have subscribed to my channel because you get a lot of these messages there. Leon Love, you look beautiful. Happy birthday from England. You're welcome. Thank you, my dear. So I'm sharing some of the secrets that made me look like this. Not too many wrinkles at 60. Hale and hearty and not on any medication. Somebody already asked the question before. Not on any medication for blood pressure, for sugar, for heart rate or whatsoever. Even I've dropped the supplementation. I was actually taking some occasional, I do take occasional fish oil because of my eyes. Yes, you get to know that fish oil, I take once in a while. It's good. It helps for your skin and it helps for your eyes, it helps for your bones. But I don't take it every day. Sometimes in a whole week, I don't. I take it 60 years. Someone is asking, happy birthday, may God bless your new age. In Jesus' name, amen. Somebody is saying, how old are you today? Say, today I'm 60 years. And so how do I look at 60? These my white hairs are not, I didn't buy them. The white hairs, they just came natural. And so, it's something that we should be proud of. Talking of it. I'm 66 from Jamaica. Thank you so much. You're welcome. And so, I'm happy you're commenting where you're writing from. And I want you to always mention your location, where you are commenting from. Gracious Grace. I'm Grace. That's my name. And I have been living this life free of medication, free of drugs. And that's exactly the life I live with my family. Using food. You can also live that life. But how can you? Through education, by subscribing to my page, by sharing the message. And after you have recovered your own, like I did, recover from ulcers, recover from frequent malaria, typhoid, and all this stuff that was troubling me. Thank you for subscribing. Just subscribe, all of you that are watching. And so if after I was able to reverse my stomach ulcer, reverse frequent antibiotics usage for typhoid, treatment of typhoid and malaria. After successfully doing that, I had to educate others. Yes, that's exactly what brought about this assignment. I call it an assignment, and a noble one. Because there are testimonies of people. I don't have time for that now. Successfully reversed a host of ailments through education, through sharing my own. Lose weight. I was extremely overweight. I mean extremely overweight, weighing 120 something, while suffering all the stomach ulcers, all the malaria, typhoid. But surprisingly, when I began to lose weight, all the disease, after I lost weight and came down to 75, 77, all the diseases were gone. And that's how I got to know that excess weight gain, when you are obese, you need to work on the weight. What you need is a weight loss, not really medication. Yes, I've talked about high blood pressure. I talked about using our sub leaf. There are a lot of things you can do, but I said there is no single herb. There are too many of them, but you need to change your lifestyle. And if you're overweight, you need to lose weight. If you are under too much stress, you need to work on it. If you are taking too much processed food, you need to work on it, because it's most likely that the sodium in your blood is more than the potassium. And so when that imbalance is there, even while you are taking medication, sometimes it looks like it's not working. Yes, if that imbalance, because when you consume too much processed foods, obviously you're going to have more sodium than potassium, whereas it should be the other way. And when that is the situation, the blood pressure will be shooting up, even while you're on medication. So you need to ensure that balance. You need calcium. You need small mineral. That's why I often recommend sea salt. I should use sea salt to make your food. I've been using it for more than 13 years. Talking of sea salt to cook my meals, because it has over 82 or 83 nutrients. Most of these minute nutrients that you need for stronger bones and teeth. I suffered tooth. In fact, I had to remove one tooth some years back. But the secret now is occasional gargle with sea salt and consuming food that helps to strengthen your teeth, and taking out all those biscuits and bread. Because all those things used in preserving these foods also create acid around the teeth, sometimes leading to toothache and gum disease. That's what we're saying. So these things are reversible by simply changing your lifestyle and stopping some of the poor habits, some of the things you are consuming which are not okay for you. They are contributing to acid. Some of these acids settle around your teeth, your gums, and all parts of the body. That's exactly what we're saying. Thank you from Romaine. You're welcome. And so that is it. You need to embrace the healing properties in natural foods. You want to take back your health. You want to regain and retain your health. Just like it happened in my case. And that's the life I live. Maintaining good emotion, proper mental balance, being contented, and then exercising moderately, ensuring that you're properly hydrated. These are the secrets. And then not ignoring any little signal. When your body tries to speak to you, giving you some symptoms. I've not had headache for 14 years. For more than 14 years. I mean headache. Some people say they're having headache, everyday headache. What is headache? It's a symptom of something that your body is asking from you. So the cause of one headache comes from the another one. Sometimes it is even below magnesium. Sometimes it's in the front, maybe stress. Sometimes at the back, it could be anywhere. But a lot of people, when you have the headache, you start going for medication. I've not had headache. May God never allow it. It's a bad thing. I had it before. It's a very bad experience. I mean headache. And the ignorance is that some people, when they are having the headache, they go and buy carbonated drink and start drinking. So the more acid you're putting in your body, you may take it and then you feel like you're okay. There is a kind of symptomatic relief. But later on, it will double it and come back. And you start having other symptoms, including the headache, in a new dimension. So that is part of the secret. Always listen to your body. When your body is saying this one is too much, stop it. If the body is saying it's lacking this, look for it and bring it in. If your body is saying this one acid is too much, stop the acids. Use food to reverse the acid. There are alkaline in food. And when the body is saying the alkaline is too much, what about that? It does happen to you. It has happened to me. You bring in at the onset, when I started going the natural food way, I actually was only alkaline. I don't want acid. Do you know the sign? I started feeling pain very easily. That is the negative sign of being too alkaline. So I now had to bring in some acidic food, small, bread, and other things, little. Because I was so skinny. I mean, became so skinny that I could not have protection. You know, when you are talking of being fat, a lot of people are angry that they are fat. You better thank your God. Being skinny is worse than that. I've experienced both sides. I became so skinny when somebody that was weighing 115, 120, now became so skinny that even to sit on an iron was difficult for me. You can't sit on an iron. When I enter some buses then, that is not, they don't have foam, very good foam. It's so painful. Why? Because the body is too alkaline and too skinny. It was so skinny. I'm telling you, I had to start eating some acidic foods, small, to bring it to a balance. There should be small acidic side. You may never have heard this anywhere, but it happened to me. Small acidic side, then more of alkaline. But when you now want to be overdue like myself, I call it overdue. That was the initial time I said, I must take back my health through natural foods. I didn't go to anywhere, didn't go to anybody. It's something I decided to do. And it began to work. And immediately it began to work. I went out to, in fact, that was what even brought me to social media. I was never on social media before. I joined social media in 2010. Those of you on Facebook can go and check my page. It was this same assignment when I said, how can I get enough people to send this message that I need to give people this message that If you have lost hope like myself, you can get it back, you can regain your health. That disease is reversible. That's the message that brought me to social media. I was not in social media. I was not interested. But I had wondered, where can I get a large number of people to give this message? Because the world needs to hear it. And that was how I went and opened a Facebook. Started opening all kinds of social media handles to give this message, the same message that I am sharing with you. So that sharing it, giving people here and there, so that the people can get to know that it's not a death sentence. A lot of us, when you get to a laboratory, immediately they bring the result, they say, it's positive. You feel so sad. That's what happens to me then. Say, there we go again. I'm going to repeat these antibiotics again. I'm going to take them again. You say, how old are you? I say, I'm 60. I said that before. 60 years. You need to subscribe, get to my page. I just posted something there. Before I started this live, I did a small short video to show that I'm 60 today, for a memory, to help us to remember, and to help me also to remember what I look like. Maybe in 5 or 10 years to come, it's important to compare you then and now, so you see the speed and the aging. That's it. I have been able to reverse most of these diseases using just natural foods. Don't think that it's you and typhoid. It means you have not understood some of these things. Because the threat we had all the time, it's going to perforate your intestine. For that was so frightening. The most frightening thing I normally hear then was, it's very deadly, or it's going to perforate your intestine. And by the grace of God, since then, you're managing, using natural foods, using garlic, using foods, antibacterial fighting food, cloves, and even discovering more by the day. There are more foods that are yet to be discovered. Several years before, I never knew of guava leaves. I never knew it could lower blood sugar. I never knew of soursop leaves. Then I was testing on cinnamon. Cinnamon was relatively new, about 12 years ago. I was testing it out. I was so afraid of cinnamon then. But I cook with it every day. Greetings from Texas. Hope you have a good day. Yes, thank you, my love. You're welcome. So I was, testing out on cinnamon. It's not so popular. Coconut oil was nowhere to be found. Cold pressed. People didn't know much about it. So the education and awareness began. I have to start educating people that you need to go back. That ignorance is too much in our environment and society. What we need is knowledge. Most of the things that is meant for our healing, we already have them around. There are so much that is still coming out. Now, different regions are blessed with different herbs. When I listen to some of the creators from faraway countries like Australia, New York, all kinds of countries, and I hear some herbs, I begin to wonder, where does this one exist? It's like I'm hearing them for the first time. And the same thing with them when they hear of some herbs from here. And so there are different herbs in different regions. So we need knowledge. That's exactly what I'm saying. You need to find out. Be interested. Let's find out what foods you need to reverse that disease. Not one, not just one. You need more knowledge. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you need teachings like this. As I'll be rounding up now and say thank you all for coming. Thank you for subscribing. And once again, I wish you a healthy body all the way. And a very happy birthday to myself. Thank you for coming. See you again.